Good morning, dear children. Welcome back. Today, I am going to tell you a classical story, The Open Window. My aunt will be down presently, Mr. Nuttall, said a very self-possessed young lady of 15. In the meantime, you must try and put up with me. Frampton Nuttall endeavored to say the correct something which should duly flatter the niece of the moment without unduly discounting the aunt that was to come. Privately, he doubted more than ever whether these formal visits on a succession of total strangers would do much towards helping the nerve cure which he was supposed to be undergoing. I know how it will be, her sister had said when he was preparing to migrate to his rural retreat. You will bury yourself down there and not speak to a living soul, and your nerves will be worse than ever from mopping. I shall just give you letters of introduction to all the people I know there. Some of them, as far as I can remember, were quite nice. Frampton wondered whether Mrs. Sampleton, the lady to whom he was presenting one of the letters of introduction, came into the nice division. Do you know, many of people around here asked the niece when she judged that they had sufficient silent communion. Hardly a soul, said Frampton. My sister was staying here at the rectory, some 4 years ago, and she gave me letters of introduction to some of the people here. He made the last statement in a tone of distinct regret. Then you know practically nothing about my aunt, pursued the self-possessed young lady. Only her name and address, admitted the caller. He was wondering whether Mrs. Sampleton was married or widowed state. An undefinable something about the room seemed to suggest masculine habitation. Her great tragedy happened just 3 years ago, said the child. That would be since the sister's time. Her tragedy, asked Frampton. Somehow in his restful country, sport tragedies seem out of path. You may wonder why he keep that window wide open on an October afternoon, said the niece, indicating a large French window that opened on to a lawn. It is quite warm for the time of this year, said Frampton. But has that window got anything to do with the tragedy? Out through the window, 3 years ago to a day, her husband and her 2 young brothers went off for the day's shooting. They never came back. In crossing the moor to their favorite snipe shooting ground, they were all 3 engulfed in a treacherous piece of bog. It had been the dreadful wet summer, and places were safe in other years gave way suddenly without warming. Their bodies were never recovered. And that was a dreadful part of it. Here the child's voice lost its self-possessed note and became flatteringly human. Poor aunt always thinks that they will come back someday. They and the little brown spaniel that was lost with him and walk in that window just as they used to do. That is why the window is kept open every evening till it is quite dusk. Poor dear aunt, she has often told me how they went out. Her husband with his white waterproof coat over his arm and Ronnie, her youngest brother, singing, Bertie, why do you bound? As he always did to tease her because she said it got on her nerves. Do you know, sometimes on still, quiet evenings like this, I almost get a creepy feeling that they will all walk in through that window. She broke off with a little shudder. It was a relief to Frampton when the aunt bustled into the room with a word of apologies for being late in making her appearance. Frampton grabbed wildly at his stick and hat. The hall door, the gravel drive, and the front gate were dimly noted stages in his headlong retreat. A cyclist coming along the road had to run into the hedge to avoid an imminent collision. A most extraordinary man, Mr. Nuttall, said Mr. Stapleton, could only talk about his illness and dash off without a word of goodbye or apology when you arrived. One would think he had seen a ghost. I expect it was the spaniel, said the niece calmly. He told me he had a horror of dogs. He was once haunted into a cemetery somewhere on the banks of the Ganges by a pack of pariah dogs and had to spend the night in a newly dug grave with the creature snarling and grinning and foaming just above him, enough to make anyone lose their nerve. This author was Saki. Thank you, children. See you in the next class.